Y'all, it's Luke with the Tailgate. Obviously, the biggest news surrounding college football the past few days has been everything going on at Michigan. Now, one of the things that I try to do as an Ohio State fan who also co-hosts a college football podcast is to be as unbiased as possible. It's been interesting to watch Twitter or X or whatever you call it, as the Ohio State fans are just having a field day with everything. Now, let's be fair, the Michigan fans would be doing the same thing if everything was reversed. So, but the Michigan fans aren't liking it too much, obviously. Now, one of the things is there has not been enough proof. There's not been enough evidence that's released, or any evidence really, to make me believe that they're guilty or not guilty, or to really make a judgment on that. And I'm not going to make a judgment on that until some of that evidence comes out. But some of the arguments that I'm seeing from Michigan fans are just really poor, not very informed, kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Here are a few of them and why I think that they're just not good arguments to make right now. The first one is that everybody does it. And it's very true. Like, every team has some form of sign stealing, something they do where they're watching the sidelines, trying to kind of figure out what the other team's doing. What isn't allowed, and what hasn't been allowed since 1994, I believe, is for them to actually send coaches to games that have teams in them that they're going to be playing later, to actually record and decipher what those signs are so that they can study them for use when they play them. So if it's in-game, if it's on film, whatever like that is cool, but actually sending somebody to the game is not. And that's what Michigan's being accused of. So does everybody do it? Stealing signs, yes. Do they do it to the extent that Michigan is accused of doing it? No. The second thing is that they don't have proof. Now, obviously, nothing has been released. There is no proof that we can read about or hear about right now. And I'll be the first to admit, the NCAA is not the best. They don't do a lot of things right. You can go back and look at how I felt about Tez Walker and the whole North Carolina situation to see how I feel about the NCAA. However, as dumb as I think the NCAA is, I don't think that they're dumb enough to make accusations that are this big without actually having some form of proof. Now, I know a lot of people, and the NCAA knows that most people don't think they do their job very well, so they're not going to put something this big out there that's going to like prove that they're incompetent, right? So they have to have some kind of proof that this is all going on. The third thing that I see is that the NCAA and the Big Ten have this vendetta against Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. Now, let's start with the Big Ten. The Big Ten wants as many of its teams to be good as possible. So there's really no benefit for them to come out and say, oh yeah, the number 2 team in the country, Michigan, who's arguably the best team in our conference, is cheating. It doesn't benefit them at all. And the same really could go for the NCAA. The NCAA wants teams, especially when you have a team that has as much past, as much history as Michigan, you want them to be good. It's good for business for them to be good. So for this to be a vendetta against Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, it just doesn't really make sense. These NCAA and the Big Ten, they want to make money, and the way that they make money is to have the best teams playing and to have the best teams playing good football. And these kind of accusations and these scandals and things, they're not good for business. So I don't believe that the NCAA or the Big Ten has a vendetta and they want to see Michigan fail. Now, the last thing, and this is where I think is kind of the poorest argument, is that it wouldn't have changed outcomes. And I've seen lots of Michigan fans post plays where the running backs are running through a hole and just beating everybody, or the receiver's wide open, or things like that. And they just say, oh, well, stealing your plays doesn't make a receiver this wide open. And if this is something that you believe, if you believe that knowing what the opponent's going to do on offense or defense wouldn't have a benefit, then you just don't know anything about football, right? If your quarterback knows where a blitz is coming from or when it's going to be a blitz, they can change their protection. The offensive line knows where to block, right? The running back knows where to run. The quarterback can call an audible so that the receiver's open because they know where the secondary is going to be. The running backs are going to have a lot more confidence hitting a hole, knowing that this is probably where it's going to be wide open. So if you really think that it wouldn't have changed the outcomes, or that your guys were just that good, you just don't know much about football, right? Now, the players still have to make plays. but it does make things easier for them. So we'll wait and see. We'll figure out what's going on. Hopefully they release some information. They release some of the proof that they have, if there is any. Now, if you're an Ohio State fan or any other fan, kind of hold your horses. We don't know what's going on. We can't say that they need all their wins vacated yet or anything like that. We need to kind of hold our horses and wait and see what proof they have and what really happened. And if you're a Michigan fan, stop making excuses. If it happened, it's really devastating and it shouldn't have been happening. If it didn't happen, then you're all good. So just chill out. I think this is one of those things that everybody just needs to wait and see. And hopefully we'll get some more information in the next few days. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.